Hey, True Believers, Englentine here, and I heard a rumor, it's an ugly one, that comic books just aren't as good today as they were yesterday. And I may have had a hand in spreading that rumor. But you know what? I'm going to back it up by giving you 10 comic books and comic book stories that made comic books better in the 1970s. Number 10. ElfQuest by Wendy and Richard Pini. So, okay, I'm not kidding. This is a book about aliens who land in a medieval Earth, and they transform into elf-like creatures to survive on their new planet. This is one of the first independent comic books that could really stand up against the big two, and it had a planned ending, which was also a bit of an anomaly for its time. All in all, a very fun book. Got to admit, this is more Chef Jack's speed than mine, but still, what I read, I loved. Number 9. Jack Kirby's Etrigan the Demon. Man, I dug this story. First, I love the design. It's based off of a comic strip, Prince Valiant, where he dressed like a demon. The exact same mask, and it stood the test of time. Always loved the design of the demon. This is where we get Clarion the Witch Boy. It's just a lot deeper than a superhero / demonic story that we were getting in the 1970s, and it's just a ton of fun. And it's got Kirby art. How can you go wrong with that? This is a book you should definitely seek out. Number 8, The Avengers, the Korvac Saga. Oh man, this would have been a year-long event with 16 different crossover issues and side books that never have anything to do with anything, but they'll have the title on it to get you to buy it. And instead of doing that, they just told a nice, 6-issue story, 7-issue story. It's one of those things where you get a little bit here, you get a little bit there, and then they go into the big story. And I loved it. I learned about it through What If, and that was kind of funny. They had like a What If the Avengers were killed by Korvac or something like that in the original 1970s version of What If. But it's a great story. First, it introduces you to the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's got incredible art. There is actually a scene where the Avengers are killed, and of course Captain America is the one that's the last one left, and of course he does the worst damage. You get to see Thor right here, as a matter of fact, saving people as Don Blake instead of Thor. It's an amazing story. It's so much fun. Like I said, great art, great writing. You should pick this one up. I could read it multiple times, and I have, and I recommend you do the same. Number 7. Oh, did I bring up What If? I think I brought up What If before. Yeah, so What If is one of the absolute greatest series ever produced by Marvel. And I am talking about the original, 42 issues that started in the 70s. These were exactly what you want from a What If book, and they did it well. And for some reason, every time they bring up What If, they do not follow the proven formula. That amazes me. It's very simple. You show us the turning point, and then you give us a story, whether it's going to make life better or worse for the superheroes and how it changed and what's the difference. I did a video, actually, that kind of recaps the first 12, and I recommend that to you. It's an amazing series. Granted, some stories are better than others, and it depends on how much you relate to the character, but all of them are a lot of fun, and all of them are a really good look into the Marvel Universe. And that was one of the things that Marvel was really good about, creating books that made you interested in exploring the greater Marvel Universe. I had no idea about these characters right here. I definitely didn't know that Jane Foster had a chance to grab the hammer. Of course, now we see that she actually does, but not as great. They had a lot of fun with it, like in this story in number 38, where it was a comedy issue. Once again, I'm going to say this a lot. If you haven't read it, you really should. Number 6, The Ghost Rider. Did you know that this was released in the same month and year as Etrigan the Demon? You know, when you want to talk about two books going head to head. Now, this one, of course, is easier to go down. Etrigan requires a little more thought. This is a lot more silly fun. At one point, even, Ghost Rider runs away from 3 bikers. I'm like, wait a second, you're Ghost Rider. What are you doing? But it is an incredible fun book. While it is dealing with dark subjects, it does not take itself too seriously. Number 5, Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man. Now, I've got this where I do the position on this list because of its historical significance as being the first real crossover between Marvel and DC. They got together and they made a Wizard of Oz book, but that doesn't count. Come on. This is the first time the big guns fought together. It's a lot of fun. It's a good book. It does get a little wordy and slows down the story a little bit, but not enough to kill the good time. And hey, if it's not on your shelf, you know what? It really should be. It should. Number 4, Swamp Thing. Now, this is a little bit of cheat because the Swamp Thing you get in House of Secrets 92 isn't exactly the one you get in his original series. That being said, this is a lot of fun. I think he works a little bit better when he's not in main continuity. Like if they just toss in, oh, well, there's a Batman, just once or twice, that's fine. These original stories are awesome. I thought the book was really good even before Alan Moore got to it, but once he did, holy Toledo, did it become great. Number 3, Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams on Green Arrow, Green Lantern. It's easy now to read some of these issues and go, oh, okay, how quaint, the way you approach racism, the way you approach drug use, the whole 9 yards. But back then it was groundbreaking. And in all honesty, this could arguably be the end of the mythological hero in comic books. The shining, shimmering Silver Age is now kind of bronzed. It's an incredible run, and I urge you to check it out. Number 2, Neil Adams on Batman was amazing. And granted, we had some great writing around that time, too. You had Strange Apparitions. You had the Joker Fish. Some really good stories, really great characters created like Ra's al Ghul. This is his first appearance right here. Just look at the covers as they pass by while I'm talking. Some amazing art. Now, granted, he had fallen. The TV show was over, and people really thought Batman was supposed to be as campy as the 1966 TV show shown him to be. And it was great to see writers and definitely this artist bring him back to being the Dark Knight again. And it worked. And it worked well. Neil Adams, in a CBR poll, was chosen as the greatest Batman artist. While it could be argued, I think he would still end up in the top 2. And the number 1 reason the 70s are better than modern day comic books, at least for this list, is the Uncanny X-Men. It can't be anything else, can it? Seriously, if you want to talk about a turnaround, Batman was a great turnaround from the campy 1966 to Neil Adams was incredible. But come on, what Chris Claremont did with the X-Men, they were going to be canceled. They were doing reprints. It was gone. And he made them the number 1 book of the 70s and 80s. It's incredible. And these stories hold up today even. Go back and check them out. They read like one big long story itself. There was real character development as well, and that is just, it's just amazing. I really do hold these stories in high regard. They helped me become a comic book collector. And once again, find the reprints, check them out. You will not be disappointed. So there you go, gang. That is 10 reasons why comic books were better in the 1970s. What do you think? What do you think about my choices? What did I leave off? Because let me tell you, I know I left off a lot, but what do you want to see in one of these lists? Let me know in the comments below. I've got a few already, and one of them I was like, oh man, I can't believe I forgot to put that on the list. Oh well, I'll have to make another one. These are fun to do. So by all means, let me know what you think in the comments below. What should be on here that wasn't, and what was on here that shouldn't. I don't think you could really argue that point. Also, don't forget to click like, share, subscribe if you haven't done it already. Remember to ring that notification bell because that's what YouTube really cares about. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, there's 3 ways to do it now. You got Ko-Fi and Patreon. Just go on over, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep making videos for you. We also have an Amazon store where, hey, you can buy something. That way you get something. And it helps out the channel and everybody's happy. I'm happy. Aren't you happy? I'm very happy. Anyway, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.